Oh, oh, oh. The Phillies lose 6-1 in the second game of the series against the Milwaukee Brewers. The series is now tied 1-1 going into tomorrow. The Phillies are now 24-17 on the season as they got no starting pitching and they didn't get any hitting. How are you going to win a baseball game like that? How are you going to win a baseball game like that? Now, this offense is crazy. It's either everyone's clicking, everyone's on the same page, everyone has rhythm, there's mojo involved. You can feed off each other. Or this offense is completely dead and nobody can get anything going. Now, in this game, we finished with 5 hits, and we only had 1 hit until the 8th inning. The 8th, the 9th, we battled, we showed them we wouldn't go out without a fight. But we had 1 hit till the 8th inning. And that hit was a Gene Segura little dribbler down the third base side where he beat out an infield single. We had 0 offense created. Woodruff, who we struggled with all day, he walked 5. And we couldn't execute on any of those. So on top of the poor offense, we had bad pitching. Jerad Eickhoff missing locations. He was just missing his spots, and his off-speed pitches, they didn't have the same it factor, especially on the break. So, Jerad Eickhoff, it just wasn't good enough, and he misses locations for Grandal to hit a huge bomb. He misses locations for Ryan Braun to crush one out of Citizens Bank Park, which he clearly does very, very often, and we're down 5-0 just like that. But I will argue this when it comes to the umpire, because I think he was on something tonight. That pitch right before Ryan Braun ended up hitting a home run, it was a curveball, a little bit inside, but that would have rung him up. Here's my argument. When Rhys Hoskins was up, a big time at bat for Rhys Hoskins with guys on base, he got rung up when 2 pitches were not even close to the strike zone. So you're inconsistent. You're inconsistent. If you're going to ring up Rhys Hoskins on some bull, we'll do the same for Ryan Braun. I thought the umpire behind the plate today was doing something before the game because he was clueless at times, and it costed us. Now, I will say the pitch was inside and it was off the plate, but if you're going to be consistent with your strike zone, then you call it on Rhys Hoskins, you call it on Ryan Braun. You can't have it one way and not the other, and it clearly costed Jerad Eickhoff today. Now, Eickhoff went 4 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 Ks, and 87 pitches. He struggled. Coming out of the bullpen, Austin Davis came in and actually did a pretty stellar job, which will help in the long run due to the fact that we didn't have to crush an insane amount of bullpen guys. So that's nice to see. As for Bryce Harper, he had 2 walks and he struck out 2 times. And when I say struck out, I'm talking about swinging at pitches that hit the dirt 10,000 times before even getting to home plate. Really, 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 really bad strikeouts out of Bryce Harper as of late. But Matt Klentak said something that I saw going around the Phillies media, and it's in regards to Bryce Harper and his struggles right now when it comes to striking out a lot. And a lot of guys that are in this funk, a lot of guys that go through bad times like this and face adversity, when they're at the plate, they just want to cream the ball. They just want to crush the ball. They just want to murder the ball and try and get some rhythm. Well, Bryce Harper is walking a ton still, a ton. And that has to have value. It's not easy to go through a stretch like this. When you're up to bat, what do you think he's thinking the whole time? Let's get a damn hit. Let's get something going. Let's try to find a way to square up the ball. But at the same time, he's walking. So he's still somewhat poised. Now, I know some of these pitches he's swinging at in the dirt and he's getting overpowered by fastballs. I understand that. But I'm just saying, there's value with still being able to find ways to walk as much as he does during this terrible stretch of his. Not only did he go 0 for 2 and have 2 walks, but defensively today, we saw him come up huge with bases loaded in the 7th in the first game of this series against the Brewers. Tonight, in a 5-0 game, he's diving into the wall in foul territory Two times, leaving his feet. The first time he dives into the wall, he limps up. He's kind of, favoring his legs a little bit, but he stays in the game. And then he does it again in a 5-0 game. And Ricky Bowe, after the game, was even saying, I played baseball with how many teammates? How many right fielders? No, that's not a thing when you're down 5-0 to run into the wall in the foul territory. That's the type of hustle, that's the type of leadership that we didn't have last year. Come on, that's not, and with the struggles he's going through, it's crazy. That's why I sit here and I still applaud Bryce Harper, because he's bringing the determination, he's bringing the hard work, he's changing the culture of the team with plays like that, with effort like that on the defensive side of the baseball. And let's be real, everyone talked about it coming into this season, and Bryce Harper's defensive rating is trash, and he makes a lot of mistakes, which we have seen throughout the first 41 games of the season, of course. But then you see this side, and I'm saying, damn, he is not letting, and I praised him last game, he's not letting the struggle at the plate affect his effort and work level out in the field, and I truly, really do love that. So like I said, we finished the game with 5 hits total. Gene Segura ends up getting 2 of them. You end up having Nick Williams pop a hit in there, but all around, we can't get anything going. And one thing that is true here, we haven't really left the ballpark in recent games. The ball has not been leaving the ballpark. The last time it has is Cesar Hernandez. Other than that, and that was last night, of course, in the first game of the series. But other than that, it's been a little bit now. It's been a little bit now. We have been struggling. It's just unbelievable to think about how this offense goes. It's here or it's here. Really. Everyone's clicking, hit after hit after hit after walk after walk after hit after walk after hit, or strikeout, 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 walk, strikeout. We struck out a lot again tonight. And I'll give credit to Woodruff. He's been solid. He's been one hell of a pitcher as of late. I know his ERA is a little high, but his last 4 starts or so has been absolutely outstanding. There's no denying that. He has been on a tear, and I can see why. I mean, he had the stuff, and his fastball can clock up to 98, and he has the speed, and he was doing a great job today on the bump for the Brewers. And I know nights like this are going to happen. And I know nights like this for Eickhoff is going to happen when you go up against an offense like this. I understand that. He just did a great job of shutting out the Cardinals. I actually don't remember off the top of my head if he actually shut out the Cardinals. But he had a really great outing against the Cardinals. Here we go against the Brewers. And I thought to myself, well, maybe he can do it again. But I was wrong. And now, tomorrow, for the 3rd game of the series, we have Jake Arrieta on the mound. And I don't know what I'm going to get out of Arrieta. And some days you have a nice outing, some days you don't. And normally when he's on the mound, I feel like we play bad defense, and then maybe he freaks out to the media. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but we'll see how that works out tomorrow. But at the end of the day, listen, we have a chance to win a series at home. We have a chance to win a series against a really good team in the Milwaukee Brewers. I want to see this team answer the bell. I want to see this team answer the challenge that's ahead of them. Let's be real, they just got smacked tonight. They weren't involved in the baseball game. It was one of those games where you're not involved at all. And I hate those days as a fan because I get home from work, it's about 5, 6 o'clock, I eat dinner, and I'm like, okay, all right, let's watch some Phillies baseball tonight. And then as you progress through the game, it's 5-0, and it's one of those, and you sit there and say, damn, I waited all day. I waited all day long to watch the Phillies, and it's gonna be one of these. That's the worst. It's the worst feeling in the world. So hopefully tomorrow is not the same. So down below in the comment section, I want to know your thoughts on Bryce Harper, Eickhoff, the 6-1 loss, the offense as a whole in this game. I just want to know your thoughts. I do want to hear your thoughts on Bryce Harper, though, and his work ethic out in the field compared to what's going on offensively. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. He continues to strike out at an alarming rate. Am I scared and worried? A 13-year contract not worth it? No. I would make that deal any day of the week, any single day of the week. He's just in an obnoxious funk right now, and there's no denying it. But I still trust that he'll find a way to figure it out. The umpires today were brutal, especially, and actually I'm just specifically singling out the umpire behind the plate. I thought he was a trash can, but I mean, that's refereeing in sports all around, if you will. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.